We are in 2022, almost going to 2023, and by now, it is very, very, very hard to have had an original thought that has never been thunk before. Is thunk a real word? I'm not sure. But this also comes to niches. It is going to be nearly impossible to think of a niche that has never been thought of before that still sells. That is why today I want to go over how we can make sales and still stick out in saturated niches. When I check out a lot of people's Etsy stores, especially their print-on-demand stores, there's four very common niches: nursing, teaching, Christmas, and positivity. If you do these, you're probably not getting too many sales if it's just a plain nursing shirt or just a plain teaching shirt. Though it's not impossible, I have made sales in these niches, but there are ways to stick out a whole lot more in these niches, even though they are so overdone. These are hard to sell in because they are the first thought that comes to everybody's head when coming or thinking of t-shirts. That's why almost every single print-on-demand store has touched that niche or has a full section for that niche, which unfortunately for us newer stores is going to be extremely hard to sell compared to against a store that already has thousands and thousands of reviews. So as a new seller, what we need to do is find a way to separate ourselves from these big stores so we still have a shot of making sales in these niches. So today I have 4 tips. Why do I keep doing 3? 4 tips on how we're going to do this. My first recommendation that we're going to try is sub-niching down. So if you want to do a nursing shirt, how about we do something like a prenatal nursing shirt? How about a cardiac nurse? There are tons of more specific sub-niches within nursing that are a lot less competitive than just a plain nurse. For teaching, you are probably not going to be ranking very high for a teacher sweatshirt keyword, but how about a math teacher sweatshirt? And I have a way that I come up with these sub-niches and make sure that they actually have this search volume that I need and this lower competition, and that's through using eRank. So using eRank, say I want to create a nurse sweatshirt. You can see right here that this has 4,000 searches, but over 45,000 people competing for that keyword. But if you scroll down, we can find tons of sub-niches that are searched for quite a bit, but have a lot less competition. So let's scroll down to one. We have ER nurse sweatshirt, ICU nurse sweatshirt, future nurse sweatshirt. Scroll even further, nurse monogram sweatshirt. We have postpartum nurse sweatshirt. And these, the ratio is 1:5. And that's looking a lot better than these statistics here. And people also like shirts and sweatshirts or just products that are more specific to them. If you are an ER nurse, would you more likely buy a nursing sweatshirt or an ER nursing sweatshirt? So I actually think the conversion rate is higher for these more specific shirts that we're already ranking higher for because they have less competition. And to check, say teacher shirt or teacher sweatshirt has quite a bit of searches, but even more competition than the nursing sweatshirt. But there are some great sub-niches: 3rd grade teacher sweatshirt, dance teacher sweatshirt, Christmas teacher sweatshirt. We have kindergarten teacher sweatshirt. Go with these, use these keywords, create designs for these niches more so than this overarching niche, which is overdone. The second way to stick out among these niches is what I like to call niche combining. So combining 2 likes. So let's go back to the teacher example, teachers and coffee. Instead of just having a separate teacher shirt and a separate coffee shirt, how about like a teacher coffee shirt? Again, it's something that's a lot more specific, so it really helps someone actually identify with that shirt more, so conversion rate will be higher. And again, it'll be a lot less busier than either of these niches separately. This is also really helpful for things like Christmas. You can have like a cat lover Christmas shirt, a book lover Christmas shirt. You could have a nursing and vacationing. I'm not sure on that one, but you get the point. Come up with 2 separate niches that probably have an overlap, and then you can design in that overlap to really stick out against these other 2 niches completely. All right, so now we found some other niches using other keywords related to that main niche that we wanted to design for, which are nursing and teaching. we found a way to stick out within those niches because we wanted to design for them without competing with the million other stores doing the exact same thing. But now we want to stick out actually within those. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we can compete already in that niche with what's already selling in there. So we're going to use a tool to find out the best selling products within each of these new niches that we want to design for. So here I looked up one of these niches that we had just come up with, which is a math teacher sweatshirt. I'm going to use a tool to find out what the top selling products are actually within this niche. So we can see here, I'm going to just filter. This one is getting almost 30 sales a month, has already 431 sales. So I'm going to click into that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see in this niche, can I do some of these designs better? Can I improve them without copying them? So it seems like this is doing really good. It's a sarcastic shirt. So it seems like a sarcastic math shirt might be a really, really great way to go. But even just looking at this, I'm not a huge fan of the placement on the shirt. I'm not a huge fan of the font that they have picked. So taking a look at this, is there a way that you can redo this design as long as whatever is on the t-shirt, whatever the saying is not trademarked, it is open English, then I would try to find a way to make this design better. So maybe you can stick out among the people already selling this. You already have less competition, but if there's also room for improvement in this niche, even better. So what happens if I'm taking a look at all the best sellers and I just don't think I can beat them? I don't know how to improve them. I have no ideas. A great way to start making moves in a new niche is to bring over some trends from other niches and then implement them into this new niche. So this year, 2022, the end of 22, these like retro, like vintage characters were super, super popular for Halloween and Christmas. Let me find one to show you an example. I'm talking about these guys, the fun mascots with the kind of like, if you ever went to a drive-in theater when you were a kid, these were the things always dancing on screen, kind of like retro mascots. These are super popular right now for holidays, but can they be applied to a new niche? They're doing really well somewhere else. Maybe you can introduce them and stick out over there because it hasn't been brought over to that new niche yet. To find trends, you can use the eRank monthly trend report, but one of my favorite ways is I literally just spend so much time on Etsy studying what's currently selling. So what I'll do, if I know Christmas is coming up, if I know any big holiday is coming up, or anything, I'll really just type in sweatshirt. I'll use a tool to help find bestsellers. And I'll just use things like this, and I'll just scroll through tons of different niches, tons of different products to try to find what types of things are selling. And if there's like trends that I can identify that I can apply again to my own niches. Like this type of design became super, super hot in the end of 2022. This kind of like retro wavy font. And this is super easy to apply to different niches. You can have it as one word. You can even apply this maybe to that earlier math teacher quote that we saw. I also have a tutorial on how you can create this type of design on my YouTube, which you can check out. But again, this is another thing. It's a great trend, but it hasn't been brought across every single niche yet. So maybe that can be you introducing it. The biggest takeaway in this video is you do not need to reinvent the wheel. The wheel has been reinvented so many times. It's been tried every single way. You need to follow what's working. So if nursing is working, let's just find our own branch within nursing in which we can be successful. Let's find 2 successful niches and combine them to create a brand new one that is super specific and is really, really going to resonate with the people that have those like interest overlaps. You don't need to come up with a brand new saying, a brand new design every single time. You just need to do it better than the other people without copying them. Make it different enough. Please do not copy. You will get reported. I don't want your shop taken down. And then you also want to find trends from other niches and bring them over. No reinventing the wheel. just applying it in new places. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you haven't, please drop a like and a subscribe so you know when I release another video like this, and so I know if I should be making more videos like this. All right, thanks guys.